Hello everybody, SoCalthero here. Welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 21. In this video, we're going to be checking out the Porsche DLC that's available for this game. Like the other DLCs, I have the cars restored. However, I actually restored every single car for it. I'll go ahead and show you the first one here. This is a 911 964 RS Turbo. 911 Turbo RS America's edition. It's one of the vehicle trims available here. All of the cars are going to be stock looking. I only changed the colors of the body styles, or of the body on these cars, but they're all souped up too. So we will be doing something a little different today. This is the 911 Turbo S right here, and it's got basically the same motor as that one is over there, with some slight differences to it. And then we have this one here. This one's pretty unique. This is the Porsche Carrera GT here, and this one is completely fixed up as well. It's a 10-cylinder, whereas those are 6 cylinders. And then if we go inside here, this is a mod. This is just a Porsche mod from the Steam Workshop that I had over here too. There's also a 911 GT3 and GT4 that I have as well that are newer, but I can't fit them here because you can only fit 5 cars to your garage here. But this is the last car here. This is a Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. It's got an engine cover on it, so you can't really see the engine under there, but everything is hooked up and everything is maxed out as far as performance is concerned. We're going to take all of these cars to the dyno, and I've already tuned them, but I'm going to run each one and see how they do on the dyno here. So this one's going to be the first one here we're going to test out. So this one's factory power is 420. Let's see what kind of numbers we get out of it. First reading there, 670 horsepower. So this one is up there pretty good, making 60% gains on the dyno with the different tuning setup that it has on it. I'm actually going to go ahead and put it back here. We're not going to do anything with this car. This car is just here as a placeholder, just because the DLC only comes with 4 cars. So this car is just a placeholder. I'm not trying to use it to compete. This car, I believe, yeah, it has performance parts too, and it matches one of the 964 motors out there, so it's pretty much the same car. It just looks slightly different. Actually, we're going to take this one next. This is my favorite car. This is the car that actually got me into Porsches altogether, was the 964 body style. Oh, that's already done. I am a big fan of a black 911 Turbo 964 Porsche. Let's see how we're doing here. So factory power is 362 here. Some big droppage right there at the end, but this one's got a better gain than the newer car there. It's up to 664 horses, so we had a 84% gain on this one, so that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and move it back out here. I'm curious to see what the RS Americas does compared to it. This one has a different motor, so it should have some differences to it. And let's see here. It's at 262 horsepower, so it's a lot slower according to this, but with that power, let's see what kind of speeds we're going to get out of it. I didn't realize the RS America was a lot slower than the other one. I mean, it's still a good gain, 82%, but only 477 horses out of it. Whereas this car that's very similar to it had even more than that. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't realize it would be that much of a difference. I'm kind of surprised, actually. I mean, looking at them, they look exactly the same. And then the motor-wise, it's just two different motors. So that's kind of interesting. Alright, well, the last but certainly not least is going to be the Carrera here. I'm assuming that this car is going to decimate everybody else because it's a 10-cylinder motor. It's pretty unique. Yeah, 612 horses. It's a factory horsepower, so we know it's going to be a lot more than that. That sounds very unique, too. So here's the thing, it has the most horsepower out of all of them, but it didn't have the most overall gain, so that's interesting. I was kind of expecting it to just dominate in every category, but apparently the gain on this one is not as well as I thought it would be. Well, this video is maybe going to be a little bit shorter, but I didn't want to make it too short of a video, so we are going to go to the top speed track here, and we're going to see how fast each car is too. So we'll take the newer one out, the Carrera 4S. We'll see what kind of top speed we get out of it. So they all have racing slicks too, so I should lock up and just go. I shouldn't get stuck here. They all have an extra gear too. Nice 7th gear. Oh, wow! All of a sudden it just pulled itself off the road. That was interesting. Well, we'll call that a... We'll call that as complete as it can get. I'm gonna have to write these down because there's way too many numbers to try to remember there. So this one's got 199 as its top speed. So let me plug that in. All right. Next, we'll take out the slow. I say slow, but I mean it's not really slow. I'd love to own one of these either way. Go ahead and drive this, the RS America, and see what its top speed is. I have it on my vision board in my room that one day I'll own a Porsche. Let's see here. Alright, we're up to 100. $150. Alright, we're gonna beat the Carrera because it's not gonna go off the track like that one did on top speed. Woo! Did a backflip! I hit it so hard I did a backflip in it. Oh man, 223 miles per hour. Okay, so we got 223 for this one. For the RS Americas. That's pretty quick. I must say that is pretty quick. That might actually win. The reason I say that one might win, at least if you want to compare it to the other 911s, I kind of consider the Carrera GT its own thing. Like, it's not really... I mean, it's a Porsche, but it doesn't have the tradition of a Porsche. But that one might be the fastest one just because the other cars can't stay on the track. We'll see how the... Turbo S here does. Regular Turbo S 964. Again, racing slicks on all of these cars so I don't slide off even though that 4S did. Man, this thing is cooking. 228. It still has room to go too. Oh man. All right, 228, and it still had plenty of room. So far, the 911, just the regular turbo 911 is winning here. The RS Americas is not. As far as the top speed is concerned, the RS America is the closest to it right now with 223. So they're pretty neck and neck there. This car, like I said, I expect it to dominate. As you guys hear it. Sounds like a race car. Alright, let's see how it does. Just redlining first, second, third. I think it has like 7 or 8 gears in it too. Yeah, it has 7 gears and it's tapped out already. 254. It definitely could use an 8th gear. If it had an 8th gear, it would have kept going. Alright, so 254. So that's the winner right now, which I'm not surprised for top speed. You know what? We'll take the Carrera S out one more time. I didn't know if I'd have enough time to do all of these, but let's go ahead and take the newer one out again and kind of give it a redo. This is kind of hard because I can't get in it, so we'll have to pick it from here. Alright. Let's see how fast they go. And I'm not gonna go through and check all the pricing and whatnot with these things. I bought some of them at an auction, others I have found in the junkyard. They easily range from $200,000 to $250,000 if profit if I did sell them. All right, so we're about to get to that mark. Yeah, I don't get it. It breaks loose. I got it up to 200 at least, 201. It just, there's nothing that indicates why it breaks loose either. That's all racing slicks. It's just like as soon as it gets to over 200, the car just doesn't have any aerodynamics. It wants to go off the road. I feather it a little bit like that. Okay, there we go. We like passed the threshold so I could do it. Okay, that's not bad. I was able to get it. So 224. Okay, so it was redeeming itself there, but not by much, to be honest. So we got the RS Americas with the top speed of 223, holding it down. Then after that is the 2016 911 Carrera S at 224. After that, we have the 964 Turbo S, the 911 Turbo S outside with 228. And finally, the Carrera GT at 254 miles per hour. So, range category, this is second to last. That was last. That was second. And that was first. So yeah, it's pretty cool DLC. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Porsches. Like I said, I do one day want to own a Porsche, definitely a 911 Turbo. If I can own an older one like this, that'd be great. But as they age, they go up in price. So there's no way I'll be able to afford one of these. But who knows? Maybe one day I will. But yeah, definitely a cool DLC to have. Lots of new features and options. Lots of new parts to mess around with too. As you can see, the motor might be a little intimidating on these cars for most people just because they're a little weird because you start with the crankshaft and then you build the pistons and then you go into engine blocks after that, and it's side by side instead of top down. So it's a little intimidating for some. And then contrary to belief, this is actually different to that one over there. It builds out pretty much the same until you get up here, then it starts to change out to something different there. So when I was restoring these, I got very lucky, and I had that blue one inside that I could reference to this one here because they're both the same. This one and the modded car inside there. Then finally, this one is different altogether. It builds like a traditional top-down motor, but for those of you that end up restoring one day on this game, the oil fill spot right here can't be done until the transmission's in the car, so that's something that's a little different with these things. And then this one, whoops, it has an engine cover. I'll take the engine cover off so you can see down in here. But as you see, this one's a side-by-side as well, but it's a little more modernized. This kind of matches the RS Americas out there a little bit, so it's very similar to that. But they're pretty unique. They're pretty different, that's for sure. Definitely a challenge in the game if you've never done one before. I would highly recommend, if you're doing these, like if you're restoring one of them or you have a mod that uses the Porsche engine, that you pull the engine out with the engine puller. It just makes it so much easier when it's on the stand over there as opposed to being inside the car. It can be done. It's just a lot of up and down to get it completely disassembled. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 21. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought. And until next time, take care.